Hello, Dumaguete.
Hello, Negros Oriental.
Hello, Sillimanians around the world.
This is Joshua Soldivillo.
And this is Ronelyn Vailoces-No.
You're watching
Silliman.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. Hello, and welcome to this year's book launch for the Sands and Coral, the student publication of Silliman University and the oldest running literary folio in Asia. On behalf of the editorial board for the school year 2025 to 2026, I'd like to thank each and every one of you for taking time out of your day to be here with us in celebration of Filipino literature and the beauty of storytelling. All right, so once again, welcome everyone and good afternoon. Welcome to the book launch of this year's Sands and Coral publication entitled Maps. I am this year's host, Ronelyn D. Chantavizuk, and I am the fiction editor for this year's Sands and Coral. And to formally begin our book launch, may we have our faculty advisor for the Sands and Coral 26 to 27, Sir Aaron Halalan, to give his welcome remarks.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much for your gift of presence. This event means a lot, so much for not only the editorial team present, but also for members of the editorial team who already graduated. And so, all this wouldn't have been possible without the commitment, the passion of last school year's editorial team. And I have seen how each of them worked hard to come up with this issue. And it's a first colored issue, right? Which is such a milestone for the publication. And we hope that you continue to support the publication, especially, and I'm addressing the bona fide students here. May you continue to support the literary publication that you're paying for. Because this is really part of your, you're paying for this. And the Sands and Coral is opening its doors once again for another round of applications. But that's for another chapter. For now, we're going to celebrate this achievement done by these students. And most of the stories here are stories of becoming. And speaking of becoming, happy Pride, everyone. June, the month of June is a month of celebration, and even though this month has also seen the worst in us, particularly the violence that just happened recently. And we hope that that kind of violence does not happen in our own campus. But may we remember those learners that passed away because of the violence, and may whatever events that this month give us, may they inspire us to write more, may they inspire us to write better, may they inspire us to write braver and stronger. So yeah, we dedicate this issue to those who are proud of themselves, who celebrate themselves openly, and for those who are still, who are celebrating in the quiet of their own privacies, afraid of coming out, it's okay. We see you. So thank you for being here, and once again, to the editorial team, congratulations.
Thank you, Sir Aaron, for that wonderful remark. And again, happy Pride, everyone. And so we come to the more a book-focused part of this program, which is the literary readings. If you have seen the submissions guidelines for the Sands and Coral, and if you have a copy of the book in your hands, we have around 4 genres, namely fiction, poetry, creative nonfiction, and a play. So to start us off, let us begin with fiction, with Alex Mejos, the writer of Zora's Decision.
Hello everyone, so good afternoon. Once again, I'm Alex Mejos, and for some reason they chose me to speak about my fiction piece. And actually, nangutan ako nila Ate Josham there and everyone, what am I gonna say? Because I honestly don't know what I'm gonna say, but I'm very privileged for this opportunity, no? And to be able to be here this afternoon with you all. So the title of my piece is Zora's Decision, and it's basically about a girl, and she has a dying mother, basically, and they live in a communist country, and she has been given the opportunity to go abroad and to study there, but at the cost of leaving her mother behind. And I would like to read the very last line of the piece, which says, Zora's mother fixed her gray, empty eyes on her daughter's face. Struggling to move her lips, she uttered under her breath, "You should have gone." And she breathed her last. So to me, that just underscores how Zora could have chose another option. She could have chose to study abroad because that was what her mother truly intended for her to do. And to us in our lives, sometimes we do decisions and think that it's best, but we don't truly understand how the consequences of our actions could affect other people. And it's just the friction between what could have been and what you actually did. So please feel free to read the piece. And once again, thank you so much to the Sands and Coral editorial team. A round of applause to everyone who has made this event possible. And thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Oh, she's quite tall. Anyway, but thank you so much, Alex, for reading that wonderful excerpt of Zora's Decision. Now we have poetry, which will be done as a suite of 3 poems. First by Sir Aaron Sigbin, next by Ate Julia Mantiza, The Carnage, and finally, first name, please. Dina Kianyo for La Singera.
So this poem is not was written by Ronald Logong Apot, a Cebuano poet, right? I'm going to be reading the Binisaya, the original piece. You can also read the translated piece in English when you purchase the book, which will happen later. But yes, sorry, I forgot to mention in my, hi ma'am. I forgot to mention in my message earlier, I would also like to thank this last school year's contributors. Without these contributors, this publication wouldn't be possible in the first place. So thank you very much for sharing a piece of yourself to the community. Sigbin, dakog dalunggan nga gatabon sa mga mata, taas nga tango, taas nga dila, pulag mata. Kung imong tutukan, nagapungko nga sama gayud sa iro. Nagalakaw pa atras, nagatinuwad, tungod ang panlantaw kay baliskad. Mugawas kini inig kagabi, sa ngit-ngit, nagatago ay ha kini mo atake. Sa mga hait nga kuko ni ini, ikaw hawiran, tilaan ang imong liog, dayon ukuban. Supsupon ang imong dugo, hangtod ikaw maluya, mupudlot imong mata, ug sa hinay-hinay, mamatay ka. Binuhi kini nga mananap sa may orasyon, sila lang nga kabalo mubasa sa pasyon. Misteryosong mananap, ingon sa kalag, nga mulaglag, ug nagpahasalaag sa mga tao nga nangahadlok, ug nag-agulo sa mga tao nga gabako, ug mga luha gatulo. Tawgon kini pinaagi sa taghoy. Gidayon mo duol sa mga sama sa itoy. Sakyan pagani kini. Mulakaw sama sa hangin. Mawala po dayon sama sa hangin. Busa sa gabi, dili ka mulakaw. Tungod basin og ikaw, makita sa pulag mata nga sigbin, hithiton sa salbahis nga sigbin.
Once again, next we have Alta Julia Mantiza, this year's poetry editor, for the reading of The Carnage.
Hello, everyone. First of all, I would like to say a few words. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Us, the editorial team, we're so proud of this issue, and there's so many good writers in Silliman, and we wanted to celebrate all of them, but unfortunately, not everyone can be featured, diba? But these are like some of the poems that I chose for this publication are, as we mentioned before during our opening of our applications for SANS, we didn't really have like a set theme when we were looking for poems, or like general like pieces. But I wanted to choose the ones that depict best what makes Silliman such a vibrant community. That's why we chose local language poems, like Bisaya poems. And this piece that I'm reading now, The Carnage by Lealina Evangeline A. Reyes, she is from the jazz junior anthropologist. I think she's a sociology major. This is one of the anthro. Oh, okay. She's an anthro major, currently 4th year, I'm pretty sure. And this is one of my favorite poems, so I hope you guys like it too. So here it is, The Carnage by Lealina Evangeline A. Reyes. The carnage is a dreadful scene, a bloody carcass, a primordial suffering known to every man, a beating heart ripped from a beaten body, and I wonder, whatever did it beat for? A pulse of your name, full of fear and blinding faith, a rhythm of ache that comes from the sight of bloody teeth, where shards of the organ are stuck between. What did you think when you heard it scream your name? A pure ecstasy I feared would never possess me, but I was not afraid. No, I was nothing but willing, an assailant crawling to the nature of your crime. I scream for no mercy, no salvation to come to me, because this is the only God I know. A religion I built in your name is the punishment from the skies above, an undoing of the very fiber of the living, a crown of thorns, a cross to carry, of which I will take to my Calvary. With every strength, I will rise from the dead, to once again witness the brutal butcher in the hands of whom I give myself to. Tell me you love me, tell me your lies, watch me lie in a casket and be buried with the promise of your fickle words. And while you stand over my grave, watch me rise, bloody, bruised, broken, desperate for another taste of my own blood, and the sight of your gruesome beauty once again looking down on me. That was The Carnage. Thank you.
And finally, one of the contributors, Dina Quiano for La Singera.
Hello, everyone. My name is Diane Charlize A. Quiano. I am a contributor, privileged enough to be chosen to read and also like having this piece in this amazing book. And like I love Sands and Corals, guys, so thanks so much. And a little context about this piece. It's not something that I actually went through, but it is something I have seen my friends and people I know go through, and I really want to capture that feeling of what happened that night and the night after. So this is La Singera. Lost sight through dim lights, only to squint as it changes. From red to blue to purple to... I blink as I stand between bodies, heated as I'm pressed shoulder to shoulder, with sounds that pulsed and wave, the bass passing through bone, playlists curated to tell us when to feel. My friends pulled me into our cramped table, purses placed next to glasses, one iced. Then golden nectar settled on my lips, though I never knew why I tasted it. It hummed beneath my skin, so I took another shot. I took a shot, and another, until it sinks within my bloodstream, and I feel myself going drowsy. I pause and observe as the lights start to brighten, like flashing stars and fireworks. It hummed beneath my skin, edges blurring, the music blaring, my words spilling out of order, confessions now unearthed. Before I could stop them, everything that should have been left buried, floating. Then silence. When I wake, regret and bile coat my tongue, bitter and metallic. Yet I can't remember what I gave away. Dizzy and numb, yet my heart is oddly raw, as if forced through my ribs, stabbed past bone, disappointment draining the adrenaline, leaving nothing but an ache of what's left from the night. Liquid courage had left me undone, clothes clinging with sweat, one heel missing, memory wiped clean. All it left was a coward with a splitting headache as I dared not to pick up the phone. I could almost see notifications staring back at me, the things you could possibly say, and the disbelief that I actually said something. And yet, not once did it vibrate. The silence felt safer than confirmation, like I could pretend that consequence never existed, or how misspelled confessions could actually mean something. But it's funny, I couldn't recall what I told you last night. Nothing at all. So that was La Señora. Thank you.
Thank you so much to our poetry readers. And we come to creative nonfiction with our contributor, Bianca Munoz, for a reading of Curly Girl Method.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Bianca Munoz. I'm a second-year mass communication student and a curly girled hair. My piece talks about how curly girls usually use more than one shampoo, more than 2 sets of gel, and how it takes tons of minutes to just get each curl perfect. And so I dedicate this to all those curly girls who used to rebond their hairs because mura sila gwak-gwak tanawon. But when we realize na, wow, this is something that requires labor, and for it to be loved, it's worth it. And I hope now we can all wear our curls confidently, even if it takes a lot of time. So here's a part of this piece. You wish you could just comb it out and let it fall into obedient waves, but you don't have the privilege. Your hair demands time, demands labor, demands attention, just like everything else in your life. Because when you step out of that bathroom, the world will not care that your arms ache or that you slept late or that you're tired of shaping things that refuse to cooperate. You still have to show up. You still have to speak clearly, smile properly, serve people, lead conversations, carry responsibilities, answer messages. Be patient, be kind, be composed. No one sees the 20 minutes you spent twisting each strand into place. They only see the finished curls. They see confidence, the leadership, the capability. They don't see how much effort it takes to look like you have it together. But you do it anyway. And at the end of the day, this is not just about the curls. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Bianca. And finally, we come to our last genre, playwrights, to be read by our one-act play editor, Ronelyn Emperado, and our trainee, Iman Cantila. This is Stars in the City.
So, hello everyone, thank you for that. So we'll be reading the Stars in the City. In this semester, we actually didn't get a lot of playwright submissions, but this one actually stood out to me, and I think it's actually an important lesson that we should all bring with us. So we will be reading from scene 6, page 47. If you have the book, please read along with us. From the beginning, I will be Esmeralda, and he will be Minos. So, okay, so page 47. Try me.
I came from the underworld.
No,
No, it's true. I was there. I was here. Sent by Persephone as punishment appointed by Zeus.
can you just stop with the Greek nonsense? It's really starting to irritate me.
Please, I know it may sound absurd, but it's true. I am Minos, the king of Crete and the son of Zeus.
Like the king and a deity? Yeah, right. You don't even look like a normal citizen.
My power and status were stripped from me as part of punishment. I was a great king, trust me. At least, I thought I was. Until I realized I was just lying to everyone, including myself.
Lying to yourself? How?
I acted like a boy, and not how a king ought to act. Worst part, I knew that I was ruling my kingdom wrong, but I kept doing it. I blamed all my wrongdoings on my Aunt Hera, but deep down, I know that I was selfish and arrogant. I devoured the power bestowed upon me in the fear-mongering.
Okay, say I believe you. Not that I do. But if I did, why would you blame your mistakes on another god, especially your aunt?
Hera? I honestly don't know what came over me. I suppose she manipulated me.
Seriously? That's intense. I mean, I heard she has been known to manipulate people, but why would she do that to you? I mean, like, what could she possibly gain?
She targeted me because, well, I'm an illegitimate son of her husband, the powerful Zeus.
You know, the way you describe your past and how it has shaped you now reminds me of how long it's been since something drastic has changed me, just as Hera changed you.
What do you mean?
My parents died in an accident. When they passed, I was left alone. I got bitter. I got hateful and cruel, in some ways, like you. Recently, though, I've realized there's no point in being angry at the world. In the end, I got a great job at the restaurant. I met good, decent people, and slowly they're helping me get by. Maybe you should do that too, if you're looking for a fresh start, you know.
Maybe I will.
So thank you for that. That was actually one of my favorite parts in the book, in the play itself, because I feel like it actually lets down their guard and they become real to each other. And I feel like that's a little bit of what we're trying to say in this edition. So thank you for that.
Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed all of the little excerpts that we've had for the Sands and Coral book for maps. And if you'd like to read more, and if you'd like to realize like the true, content of each of the piece that was already written, feel free to grab a copy in the back. And moving forward, I would like to introduce the editor-in-chief for this year's Sands and Coral publication, Jude Wilter-Doman, for his response entitled "In the Editor's Office." A round of applause, please.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for coming. My speech is called At the Editor's Office. Under circumstances similar to that of the editorial team 78 years ago, unfortunately, Sanson Coral still doesn't have a physical office. But one could say that we've mostly moved into the Google Workspace suite these days. Most of the editing, commenting, and back and forth with the contributors mostly done on Google Docs, with editorial process tracked on sheets. This speech was supposed to be part of the foreword on the print as a callback to the first issue of Sans in 1948, because it had a little section at the start, and it was called At the Editor's Office. But with all the restraints in publishing and budget, of course, it had to be cut. All of this, this year's issue, it was all in a bid to execute our guiding editorial vision this year, which is to be a champion of emerging literary voices from all academic backgrounds while preserving the rich storytelling tradition that has come before us. This editorial vision has been promptly integrated into the journal's newest mission vision statement, which you could see at the back of the physical print. Sans and Coral in the recent years has been subject to quite significant changes structurally. Last year, since coming back in the 2020s, Sans restructured in a bid to include not only students from the English department on the editorial board, but all students of all academic departments from senior high school to graduate school. That this has made possible our current team, made of a diverse group of editors from different colleges and departments. And I would like my team to stand and please be recognized. Yeah, please. Thank you so much. And we hope that this vision will carry on to the future. We'd like to give thanks to a lot of people. First of all, we'd like to thank the Almighty. Although our song touches you like the hills touching the faraway sea with its waterfall, we hope it makes a difference anyways. For the gift of life and literature, we thank you. For Sir Aaron, thank you so much for honing us to be competent and effective in our work. You have truly contributed to our development not only as editors, but as creative individuals. We'd also like to thank our partners at the Creative Writing Center, led by Miss Casey. Thank you so much for the support throughout the making of this issue. We'd like to thank Dr. Joan Generoso and the rest of the English department present here today. Thank you very much for all the support. And on a personal note, I'd like to thank Ma'am Casey and Sir John for introducing me to Sans way back in senior high school when I was grade 11. Thank you for being advocates for me. I've reached this far because of the two of you, so thank you so much. And thank you for guiding our team with your wisdom always. We'd like to thank the sponsors of this event and our event partners. First of all, the SUSG. Can you please stand, Zild? And the SUSG team, thank you so much. They sponsored our snacks today. Thank you so much for supporting the literary arts. And also, we'd like to thank the SU Library, particularly the American Corner, led by Miss Angie Halandoon right there at the back. Thank you so much, ma'am, for partnering with us venue. Second, I'd like to thank again our editors, the trainees. Thank you so much, Iman, Darlene. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you to my editors, especially our seniors who are out in the world now. Thank you, Ray, Katinka, Janilyn, who's here, and Colleen. Thank you so much. Thank you to the Office of Media and Public Affairs. Thank you to Ma'am Marcia for providing the budget. And lastly, I'd like to thank the contributors who make up this issue. You are the landmarks that make this issue. We are truly grateful for your work. Thank you for showing up today. A hand to you guys. We dedicate this issue to one of our founding editors, Ida Rivera Ford, who unfortunately passed away early this year, days away from her supposedly 100th birthday. thank you so much, ma'am, for being a part of SAN's history. And before I'd like to finish, I would like to read to you guys the titular poem of this year's issue, which is called, of course, Maps, written by yours truly. Maps. The green canopies slowly turning concrete, though the street lamps and stand timeless. A map of stories loved and live on streets that once held 1,000 lives left on the pavements. A kiss tucked behind a bench of a hidden park in Bantayan, or a stolen glance kept amidst the rush of reds along Perdices. There are ghosts roaming under the branches of Claytown, some great love left behind, their footfalls heard from 40 years past. Tales of blazing youth left marks on the seawall, Iscanio standing witness to 1,000 beginnings and farewells. A lark shared along the Banica, laughter piercing the air, or the prints of a life well lived etched deep on the boulevard. Never fading, the streets remember, acacia roots pushing deep below the concrete. And we're selling physical copies at the back. If you're interested in getting a physical copy, please check them out. We have special discounts if you're alumni, faculty, students, and all. Thank you so much for coming to this program, everyone. Good afternoon, and here's to literature.
Finally, I'd like to call upon our Associate Managing Editor, Ate Joshua Hamid, for her closing remarks.
Thank you so much, Lynn. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Yes, so thank you so much once again for being here with us today. You know, whenever we are lost, maps can lead our way. But they don't explicitly tell us where we should go, but of course, they reveal the possibilities. They mark places we have been to, places we are yet to discover, and even places within ourselves that we didn't know existed before. And in a lot of ways, the pieces gathered in this issue are maps of their own. Each poem, each story, each artwork traces a different path, whether through memory, colorful imagination, longing, bliss, uncertainty, or even hope. And as readers, we are invited to wander these traces, to wander these paths, and maybe linger in unfamiliar places, or find yourselves back to places you've always loved. And today, I hope that you accept that invitation to wander. And on behalf of our managing editor, who's unfortunately not here with us today, Paul Ray Donaire, we'd like to again extend our thanks to CWC, to the English department, to the Silliman University Student Government, to the SU Library, to our beloved advisor, Sir Aaron, to our brilliant editors and brilliant editor-in-chief, Jude, and especially to our beloved contributors. Thank you so much for gracing us with your time and presence here today. And above all, thank you so much for making maps possible. So once again, thank you and good afternoon.